Says what?
Me, Crystal.
Okay. So this is Daddy.
This is me.
And this is Crystal. Thank you so much for sharing. Alright, so this is her birth father. This is her with her kids. Thank you very much for sharing. And that music. So people, I feel very privileged today. I have been invited by the Trinidad and Tobago Children Training, alright? And they will be hosting an event today at the Freeport Hindu School. It's something that I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial to me. Good morning. And to many of the viewers. Alright? What it is all about, we're going to find out. Just like you, I have no idea of what this is all about. So, let me get to the location and let me see how this thing turns out. These children have a lot of steps to climb in the school. Everybody must be so fit. And I am here. I see an activity on the inside. Hello, Nicole.
Hi, so
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
So make yourself at home. We're about to begin. We start on sharp at 9:30. But you know, training is always late.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I wanted to be on time. All right?
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
This is our esteemed facilitator, Miss Francine Burton. Everything, all the accolades, all the letters behind her name. Yeah. So we are happy that she's joining us today.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yes. Nice. So I've seen some food preparation being done. Some people getting the refreshments organized. Alright, so I have been given the privilege to move around freely, and people are just busy here. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Right. And my boy, good morning. Yes, man, brother, like he's working at a restaurant, though. Yeah, man. Good morning. Hello, how are you? All right. Good morning. So the atmosphere here feels very family-like. All right, and I could already feel that inside of this place there's a lot of love. All right. Good morning, ladies. How y'all doing? All right, good.
Hi. Hey, honey.
Looks delicious. You made it?
No.
You didn't make it?
No.
All right. I have to commend the school. There's actually air conditioning inside of here. Alright people, so it's the Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy. And here we have, this is a collection point for donations and so forth. So the topic today is grief counseling for the early. So the topic for today is grief counseling for the early years child, right? 3 to 9 years old. Guys, the topic for today is grief counseling for early childhood years, children's age 3 to 9. All right, this is a very interesting topic, and I think there's a lot for me to learn here today. I am really happy that I came.
Everyone, so as usual, persons who promised that they would be here are not yet here, and of course us Trinidadians always like to kill out somebody. So we have had so far 3 people died yesterday, 2 persons got a heart attack, and about 5 persons sent voice note like, I can't talk this morning. So yeah, nevertheless the show must go on. So we're going to invite Miss Lillian to do the first introduction, and we're going to get the show started. Miss Lily. For those of you who don't know her, you all would have been here before she joined the Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy. She is our internal verifier.
Guests, past students, members of the press, YouTube and TikTok influencers, first-time participants, good morning to all, and a warm welcome to the Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy family, especially to our new families. Please note, a few housekeeping rules. There are 2 bathrooms at the end of this upstairs area and downstairs at the bottom of the staircase. There are also garden tracks. She was a little bit mean and very. The Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy is a professional self-development institute offering training programs in early childhood care and development and special educational needs to adults. In recent time, our school has embarked on meeting sustainable developmental goals in our nation and has become known for our philanthropic lenses. To date, we have supported the Helping Her Foundation by donating feminine products to their cause. We have offered numerous workshops to build mental health awareness. We collected and distributed clothing and food during the pandemic, supported the special needs community by supplying specially crafted strollers and wheelchairs, given away many scholarships and ECC to participants sent to us from the Single Mother Association. And our most recent accomplishment, we partnered with the world champion producing kickboxing gym, Fine Line Fire Factory, and together hosted an anti-bully initiative for 10 to 15-year-olds teaching self-defense strategies and self-confidence building blocks. There were more than 800 entries to qualify for this program. Lastly, I would now like to take this opportunity to invite to deliver my remarks part founder of the Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy and special educator of the Ministry of Education, my friend, my mentor, the scary person who I met many months ago, the lovely Miss Nicole Thompson. Thank you.
I don't know. They say I have the rest in this space. My children and Miss Lillian insists that I am super scary, but I think I have such a cheery spirit. So I'm going to be very quick because we do have a lot of content to go through today. My thoughts about today made me reflect on growing up. When I was 8 years old, my grandfather passed away. My father was a Jamaican and he left his country and came here in 1960. she was kind of shunned against because of course she married. And I came home that evening from school and I said, where is my mom? And he said, oh, your grandfather kicked you up yet. Well, I thought I was rather hilarious because I didn't know what kicked you up meant. So I went telling everybody downstairs in the other apartments that, oh, my grandfather kicked you up yet, not knowing that it meant somebody died and that was a serious matter. Then at 14, my mother's brother died, who would have been my uncle, and in typical Trinity fashion, there were some persons in attendance, his wife's relatives, who were, oh God, will you hold me back? Oh God, will you leave me? So that was real fixing. Because I still did not comprehend the severity, the giganticness of what it meant when someone passed away, because all I knew at that point was this man had once asked me to spell mosquito and I couldn't, and he said to me, but how you can't spell a small thing like mosquito, yeah? So that's when I was 14, but then when I was 18, that's when something really severe happened that changed my life forever. My father would have committed suicide when I was 18 years old. My mother would have left a few months before to migrate to America. And to myself and my brother, we were left alone here. And I had the responsibility of going to identify the body and making all the funeral arrangements at 18 years old. If you all have never been to San Fernando General Morgue, as one of the dirtiest, nastiest, there aren't words to express that smell that you get when you open that door and you smell the rotten dead bodies. Yeah, it felt like it would all inside the bullet. Yeah, I can never forget that. And it was an experience where I looked for humor out of it because my father was an alcoholic and he dealt with a lot of depression, and he was an engineer, so he was very qualified, but he did not have that support that a lot of West Indian men struggle with. Yeah. So 15 years after that, I would have had a lot of loss in my life. I lost jobs, I lost opportunities, stable living environment. My daughter, who's in the back there, she's 23 years old. She would have not lived with me since she was 10 years old. So I lost that experience with her. I was in an abusive relationship very early on, so I would have lost my self-worth, my self-confidence, my vision, my dreams, everything that makes a person a person. So ideally I would have lost my identity. And what I would have done, I took everything, all that pain from all that grief and loss, and put it in a box inside here, and put it down there and left it there so that I could wake up to face tomorrow. Fast forward to 2016, my brother, who was 29 years old, died of an overdose of drugs in New York. My mother called me at 7 in the morning and said, yeah, Nick is dead. He was lying on the sidewalk on Jamaica Avenue for the entire night because he got a heart attack. And something happened that day. I lost the ability to tell time. So my children and Miss Lillian said that's a good thing because I could now stand and teach for 3 hours at a time without drinking water. But I would speak to someone for 5 minutes and think an hour has gone by. I lost how much time is actually passing. So somebody can say, open the door for me, I'm just going outside, because that happened when we were in the States. My husband was the winter. He said, I'm just going outside, and I'm coming back in 2 minutes. And I forgot he was there for an hour, banging the door. Yeah, in the heart of the winter with no slippers, with no shoes on. So I made a choice at that point that something is wrong. My physical being is being affected by these matters of grief and loss. And I decided to make a change and find ways to process it. And that is the reason that we are here today. The Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy has partnered with our esteemed facilitator to host this event, so all of us here can find a way to pull that box out that you all have inside and learn therapy strategies, just ways to get by. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our esteemed facilitator, soon to be doctor, just a couple more weeks before her PhD, many letters behind her name, Dip Ed, B.Ed, MBA, all kind of diplomas, spiritual advisor, a person who has changed and shaped many lives, a leader in her own right, and most importantly, most important to me, a friend who I can call at any time. Sometimes she don't like to answer the phone, but a friend nevertheless. So everyone, a round of applause for Miss.
Was nobody was good. And being Nicole who she is always pretty good. So sometimes I say, there she is. So I'm Francie Britain. A couple was years ago, because it was post-pandemic. I saw this ad on social media to do a course. Early childhood course. Of course, by then, many years had passed for me and my first course, but I felt that I was about to open a school, and I felt that I would want to know what my teachers are doing before I recommend them to a place, because not everybody can afford the University of the West Indies or even UTT or wherever. So I enrolled on the course, in the course rather. So I went to the course, I sat in the back, I did my notes, I did the assignments, and of course I had to fill out your form. No, I can't lie. So I began to write Francie Brayton, been at ECC for, by then it was like 20 something years, whatever. So the next day, next Saturday when I went, I had to pay fees, and I went up to Miss Nicole to pay the fees, and she said, "You're trying to embarrass me, what are you doing here?" I said, "What, why?" She said, "That's all qualification. I don't know half these things." I said, "But I didn't come to do anything else other than to learn." So I never put up my hand to say nothing. I never came in front to say I'm here to learn. And I remember the last day of the course, she asked to stand. She said, "You know, somebody back there hiding, and they have all this experience. That's a common share," which I did. To tell teachers the truth. When they go to UB and courses, they have all these fairy ideas of how it is in school. It's nothing like that. Parents are ridiculous. Children are ridiculous. Sometimes we have to be ridiculous. And ever since then, she asked me to come and to share the last evaluation with truth. And then one day I received this email from, I guess, the covering member of the organization to come and teach a course called Grief Counseling for the Early Child Years. Seriously, I was really ready to teach about classroom management. I could do that. Really ready to tell them how to deal with disgusting parents. I could do that. Even to deal with children who may have learning impediments. I could do that. Grief. I am the worst, let me say worst, the worst person in the world to deal with grief. because I never handled that well. Never. I am the person who wants to bring it home. I am dramatic like that. I am the person who goes to the dead, not to the dead person. I am the person who will bawl for hours watching a Lifetime movie and the person died. I'm the person who will Google to see the really dying person. And here they are asking me to teach grief. And I struggle. I don't want to stand here and pretend that it was easy to say yes to that. But I am a Christian. I am a child of God, and I believe that God only allows it to come my way when He wants to teach me something. So picture, in the midst of this, I'm with my father's pastor, and she called her sugarness. So the first time I taught this, I was not very good. They don't know I wasn't very good because I'm dealing with the fact that my father is no longer here. So I give them a kind of watery something. It was during COVID. Worse yet, because now we lost restrictions, the school closed, and they come in to ask me to talk about grief, watery. The first activity, yes, you have activities. I can do it. I tell people what to do, but I can do it. Then, the second time, a little better. And then I realized if I am to successfully say yes to this, I will have to go through my healing myself. And then I have to do something that I never thought I would do. I have to go to a psychiatrist, somebody, counselor, somebody. Because I was not handling it well at all. And I had to go and sit there and go under a knife as a group to peel back the layers to go on with life because I'm not committing suicide. I'm not harming myself. I had the people that say it takes more guts to stay alive, and I believe that, but I can't cut myself. I can't drink poison thing. Oh, it looks like I'm doing poison. Vanity is good, right? Thank God for vanity in those days. But I had to deal with it. So I stand before you today, confident in fact that I can now share with you. Still going through, it's been 5 years, it's been six years, but still going through. And I will now share with you how you too can successfully stand and share on something that every single time you share about, you have to go through the emotions again. So I said all of that to say, that's how I make it simple. She brought it out. And would you believe, one time during the pandemic, she had us do it online. Why my pastor had to be looking at the boy and find I would be a good minister in church, why? And I said to her, why? So today, actually, they are launching the group ministry in church. We will have had sessions online. And today they are there with a pastor. I attend my Destiny Worship Center with a pastor, Vivian Duncan. So they are there with him, because I'm about to tell you, if you don't get healed, you have no right trying to help anybody else. You'll heal them, but you get to that. And tomorrow, we get to do it live and in person. So I get to share on you again tomorrow. Somebody say yay. So here we are today for grief counseling for the early years child 3 to 9. Let's see. So I'm Francine Grayson, ECC educator for many, many years. Never wanted to teach them big hard in children, and I like my little ones. I do have a school. This is my esteemed teacher and right hand, Miss Giselle, who was also in the first class by the way. I didn't meet her then, but when I wanted a teacher, I said, Mr. People, send some people through this interview, please. And she met the requirements, and I tell you, I can't without her. I'm also, of course, a lecturer. I do have a master's in when it's not your week. Other than that, you're just a old team. University has a nice way called plagiarism, but it's not fair. And somebody else does the work. And then you stand and pretend it's yours. You must always quote your sources. So what are we going to expect today? We're going to deal with first things first, then we're going to go through some definition of terms, We are going to go through I think it's about 4 or 5 stages of the young child and determine how grief can affect the child. We're going to go through the expectation of growth and development of the child, and then how can we help the child and his parents, because remember, until that child is 18, you must consult the parents. And early childhood educators have a way that when children reach in front of us, I am guilty of thinking they're mine as well. But these children have parents and guardians. Even, I hope you know, in schools, even for science projects, when they have to taste food, you're not supposed to give a child food, snack, even a drink without asking the parents. And then, first, I must start with you. You must start with you. And Michael Jackson said, you have to begin with the man in the mirror. If I cannot deal with my issues successfully, I may be unable to assist with anyone else. We have broken people and broken children because the adults are broken and they refuse to deal with themselves. That is why a parent, a mother, a father, an adult can interfere with a child, because that person has unresolved issues. They may cause more harm than good because of your unresolved issues and your biases and your hurts. There are some people that don't like parents because they remind them of. Alright, again, that's the next class. So let's go through some incidents where grief may occur for you. We have the death parent, grandmother, family member, divorce, separation, migration, loss of freedom during COVID time school, and even some of you may have young children, they can't go back to school. Then the child goes to new friends, new school, new friends. We go to new courses, and if you cannot make friends easily, that's something. Loss of limbs, we have illness, loss of pets, etc., etc. So that's to get your mind to a point where it's not only death. Grief does not only come to death. We have a slide way down where we talk about where we can grieve for things we never had. First activity. Somebody say yay. I like to see how it was different when it was in there, but it was yeah. Good. So I want you to think about something or someone that you lost. Think about it. Think about how it made you feel, one word. Turn to the person next to you and tell them, if you can, who or what you lost and how you feel, one word. And be honest. Are you still sad? Are you still happy? If your husband beat you on the bed, well, be honest. So now let's talk. Who or what are you grieving? Because everybody in this room, including myself, is grieving for something or someone. How do you know that you are grieving? Do you need help? Are you able to have someone who's there to period of grief successfully? Or every time you get in front of somebody, you have to tell them your story when the person tries to tell you theirs? One of the worst things, Lord help, the worst thing for me is when I'm trying to tell you I'm a headache. You'll have a headache too, you know. Oh Jesus. It's like my nerves like yeah, now. My great grandmother, boyfriend, dog, cat, fish, lose a fish. You lie. That happened to me. I shudder. You know what? You know how when you're grieving or you're trying to help somebody, you can't tell them your story. I am here trying to help point. Why am I telling you how I feel at this point? So, we go back to the question before. You need help, right? And what I've found is, that's why I have started, let me try this side. That is why I have starting like that. Dealing with me, dealing with the adult, before jumping into dealing with the child, because many of us in this room have not dealt with ourselves. Which is why your children can't tell you, but they can't take your own. Because you're still dealing with stuff they should have dealt with and they cannot be children. So let's start to define. Let's start to understand these terms as we move on. We have grief, bereavement, mourning, loss, and loss adaptation. Very, very important. So grief is the normal process of reacting to a loss. The loss may be physical, such as death, social, such as divorce, or occupational, such as a job, emotional, can include emotional reactions, anger, guilt, anxiety, sadness, despair, etc., etc., etc. So right away you realize that grief, mourning, loss is not the same thing. So that's grief. And then we have bereavement. That's the period of mourning after the loss. And then I always ask, how long should that period be? After 6 years, I don't think I should be in a better place by now, having dealt with that. And then we have mourning, which is the process of grief. And again, how long should somebody be in mourning? How long are you going to mourn the loss of the job? Or how long are you going to mourn the loss of the opportunity? Some things you can't get back. How long? And then we have loss. That thing or that person is no longer with me. And then we have loss adaptation. How do I cope without it? How do I cope without my husband for 17 years to get up one day and left? How do I cope with it? What do I do now to adapt to this new life? This child who has passed. I carried him for 9 months and now I don't have him again. What to do? So we have activity 2. Oh, that was activity 1. See how easy it was? So activity 2 is we are going to call Miss Nicole. And she is going to take you to activity 2. And then we get to spend the rest of the day together. Now start. So hold on to your hat.
Lily, give everybody a piece of paper, please.
Alright guys, so I know some of you don't have paper, so just raise your hands to Miss Lillian. I'll give you the blank sheets of paper. And Vedant, can you help to give the crayons? So give all those persons who need crayons, 2 crayons, please. You guys have crayons? I don't worry. He's a little bit on the age, I think he's about, 70. Is a big man now? So, while we are waiting, they can stand up. Stand up. So this was one of the first persons who would have gotten an ECCD scholarship.
So on the get chair too.
We didn't have to pay. Michaela, nice. Yeah. All right.
So I want to see what this exercise is all about.
Here is you are going to run, place a thing, your pet, somebody crushing on real hard, whatever you lost. And you're going to think about your favorite memory of that experience. So if you assuming that you lost someone that you love, you're going to think about something that you all did together, went somewhere together, ate something, drank something. So you're going to draw that, the happiest memory of that person, that place, that thing, whatever that you would have lost, all right, on your page with your crayons. Yeah, you guys? I think it's travel, all right? So you guys take outside.
So guys, I got myself a piece of paper too and a crayon, and I know exactly what I'm going to draw. All right? So people, we have been asked to draw something that reminds us of our grief. And that music, this is a song that all my kids love. be moving around, and only if people volunteer. All right, I'll just be showing what they draw, but I would not be showing the faces. All right, because this could be considered to be a private moment. Yes? All right. This says what?
Me, Crystal.
Okay. So this is Daddy.
This is me.
And this is Crystal. Thank you so much for sharing. You want to share? Very nice. Alright, so this one says Daddy and Crystal. Yes, very nice.
This depicts friendships gone bad, where we used to eat together before, go to the mall, clubbing, sleepovers, celebrating with their families, you know,
Right.
and that loss has greatly affected me generally. Yeah.
Y'all give her a round of applause.
Sleepover.
Yeah, sleepovers.
Celebration with family.
Yeah, with their
Happy
family,
birthday.
with my family.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
I am Samantha, the founder and president of Facilitator Foundation.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Welcome.
Everyone /career.
All right, so this is her birth father. This is her with her kids.
With us as well.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for having us. As Nicole said,
Thank you very much for sharing.
local NGO has tampons and liners. No, we don't accept clothes and shoes and all of these things. I started it because I noticed that when people think of, okay, giving back to community or giving necessities and what people need, the first thing you think of is clothes and food. Clothes, food, shelter, which yes, are all necessities, but what about the woman who has her monthly and she can't go to work because she doesn't have products, or the child that is missing a week of school because they don't have products? And it's not spoken about enough in our country because majority of the people that we support are in more rural areas and are still using cloth, old sheets, reusable stuff, or they're not familiar with how to use pads or tampons or liners. So we are trying to be more sustainable as well and introduce period panties and menstrual cups and everything. However, because the majority of people that we support are in a lot of rural areas in our country, so Trinidad and Tobago, they also don't necessarily always have clean running water. So we have to keep that in mind, and the disposable options are still a better choice for a lot of people that we support. So thank you very much, and this is going to reach a lot of young women and help them get to school and home, work a lot more comfortably and help them stay on track with their lives. Thank you.
Academy, I especially chose the charity because it meant a lot to me. So back when I would have been just about 18, 19 years old, and I gave birth to this very large human being that is walking up and down, my then partner, her father, would have been very mean to me in the sense that he would withhold sanitary products and figure out what to do, see where you could help yourself, you know. So it was a very trying experience, and especially as a person who would have grown up in fairly well, or probably because my father was an engineer, you know, the cultural shift was very hard for me to grasp. So I did find myself having to, just like Samantha said, use a lot of cloth and all different things, just to get by. So this is the reason why especially I did decide upon this charity, and you all can reach out to them at any time if you all want to make any kind of donations and contributions. So let's move along. And did you all find the activity enjoyable? I know some of you had a bit of a rough time with some persons, crying. Would anybody like to share their picture? Stand up and tell us what your picture is. More brave persons. Okay, so we have Alessia Miller.
Good father here. He had a habit of rubbing his bald head and rubbing his belly. And I never grew up with him. So I met him when I was 20 because I found I was adopted. And no matter what you bring to him, no matter what you tell him, he always rubbing his head and rubbing his belly. I have plenty of love, don't worry. We will solve that problem with love. And I ended up having children. Besides my last little one, all three of my kids got to experience what a grandfather is. So now that my kids are older and they are achieving things, he's no longer with us. So every time they achieve something, this boy, Mommy, Papa will have been here and Papa will have been rubbing his head and whining low and say, yes, we solve it with love. So it's hard to not have the person around. And my last one never got the experience. So he does just have to go by the memory of what we talk about, of what a grandfather is like. So it'll be hard every day.
All right. Okay, so thank you for sharing. Somebody in the back? All right. You can come. I'll come to you, no problem. This is my family.
This is my daughter. I didn't work with my daughter. He was home from for 6 months and with me, and that was the most happiest time for me. He will hug me, and I know when he come in his money, he bring it. And when he come, I will have to get a ride in that car, in the front seat. Whoever in the front seat have to come up, and that's my time. And those were the happy times for me every time. But now that he's no longer here, I miss that, calling him and asking when you're coming to get that money, get that ride in that car, and that hug.
All right, thank you so much for sharing. And that's what we have left, our happy memories. And it's hard when, the memories are again because it's so fresh, right? So if nobody wants to share, Shanti, I see your women forward. Sir, would you like to share?
Memory with my brother, my loving brother. I have with my brother, and I live close, very close, and he passed away about 8 years now, and I miss him very much. As we grew up, go to school together, and everything we do together, I always cook and have a special tea for him one morning and sandwich, and I miss him dearly for that, as now he's gone. Thank you so much.
All right, Shanti. I feel like we're not separate these sugar. We try to have the same kind of picture. Go ahead.
So I have two losses. I recently lost a baby, and it's hard. Yes, I have kids, but this one was extra special because we all were rooting for this baby. She would have been a girl. I already have a girl, and my daughter grieves for a sister. I am an only child as well, so I know that grief for my daughter. My mother, I grieve for my mother, right? My mother loved to dress, she loved makeup, she would really put herself together. Now, mentally, she's not there, and nobody can dress her, nobody can't
her together. When you see her now, compared to the woman that we would have known, she's not there. So I always like to dress up in honor of my mother, because I know that when she's stepping out of that house, she's always put together. And I grieve for the daughter that I hope one day she'll come again, but regardless of it, we love her dearly. Thank you.
What a
We have coffee, we have tea, we have hot chocolate, there's water, there's soda.
I get very emotional. Very, very emotional. And you know, while looking at all these different drawings, and while performing my own, I can tell that this exercise is going on one thing was, and that is love. She lost her father, she lost her daughter, lost her brother. That is my 3 daughters, and this is something that we used to do a lot. Sitting at the island, having a meal together. Unfortunately, I had to recently move out of my home, and now I'm living at my parents' home. Yes, I had to flee my home to preserve my mental health. But I miss them dearly. So some people may have lost loved ones through death. But it's so difficult for me because this is happening in life. As the speaker was saying during our presentation, it's important to keep yourself first before you heal others. And that is so true. I acknowledge it. And it has been a great experience being here today. I didn't know that such a thing exists. Continue.
Feel embarrassed about your tears. And let's go now. We start letting we start dealing with us before we go to the child, because I don't want to know the child hurts when they come in front of us. Or God forbid, they lose their parents, and then we have to teach them a new ball and more because we never deal with the fact that you dealt with you did not deal with your father or your brother or your unborn child. Or for her, that's a trigger to see somebody else pregnant or to see somebody else giving birth. I call her my additional daughter-in-law, because I don't have any children. My husband has 3, and she and her sister carry babies full term, and hers died. Could you imagine that? And now you have to watch your sister, and you know she got pregnant again, and the sister get pregnant again, but thankfully we have my bonus grandson. Thank God. Because I don't think she could have done that again. So she had to know that as a trigger. Right? So grief can happen at any time, any age, any season in one's life. And that's just what we had before. Because when Ms. Nicole and they asked me to teach this part of the curriculum, they would have given me a guide, right? And part of the guide would have this lady here. This is Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, I call her, I don't know if she was a practitioner nurse for some reason, that suit me. But she would have these encounters where she used to take care of people as they were dying. And she realized that when people are dying, like if you were to think about dying now, you have all these things that you wish you did or didn't do. So she saw some similarities and became known as the dying lady. So if, and of course this is from social media, you can go up on Google and Google her and find out more about her. And she said the most beautiful, and this is one of my favorite quotes, because as I stand before people to share, even in church and the functions that I do there, I always say, some of us who go through stuff is so selfish. Our pain could be somebody else's victory. I went to divorce. My husband of 17 years got a boyfriend going away. And we were together for 10 years, we slept before that. So 27 of my years in teeth. I can sit down and be, oh God, leave all of this. I'm so nice. Oh, I could have been better. Israel, and I go curse. Israel, well, no, I want to say. And now I don't like the man. When they go come and invite man here for all man bad. You see the difference? Or I can say, okay, this happened. Deal with it in the moment. Cry. 27 years. Cry. How did I deal with it? Oh my God, yeah. So, this man decided, oh yeah, we'll go to church by the way, both elders. And one day he gets up and he said, right, I go. I'm a different kind of human. So, I went through, the thing is, the day before I got my divorce papers, God, I was watching something on TV and I don't remember what, but the person said it was 21 day fast. And just so I decided, you know what, I go to do this fast. I got my papers on the 21st day. I don't know what I would have done. So did it, and went to the divorce thing, court, and dressed as I don't know, the dress man like you. The man come in old jeans and a jersey. Like if he had nothing. I know what the judge told me? If you even try to get money from him, I will see that you pay him. What to do? I went back to work and I was like, So then I went to my supervisor and I said to him, listen, my husband just sleeping. I'm not sure how I'll be in a couple of weeks. I just said, and I walked up the road, I went to my father's office and I told him the same because I did not tell my parents. Because I didn't want them to have a different view of him. So then I went to, it was a Tuesday, and pastor, you know, my pastor came to see me, and for the first time, he was without news, because I was born. And I said to him, I wiped my tears, and I said, so God will kill him now, right? I can't see what else is going to happen after this. And he said, no, this is not how it works, whatever. But you know what shook me up? When he left, I went on my bed because now the enormity of the situation started happening. And I saw a noose drop from the side. Those of us who are Christians, we know about these things. Excuse me. And the boy said to me, kill yourself. And I said, kill myself? My pastor just leave here, and the next time he will hear is that I kill myself after him. I'm not even thinking about me. And I said, okay, God, how do I deal with this? God said to me, and I'm telling you, take it. It's good advice. If you get it out there first, it's not gossip. Do you know it's gossip that still happen to you? Because they care what people say. But you killed that for me that day. I say, alright, good. I start to call family members now. And I tell them, call an evening. One. Call an evening. Call an evening. And then the next day was Judah practice, which is worship. And I tell my cousin, I said, all I need you to do for me is stand up here and just make sure okay. And I put a chair, sister, in the middle of where I know everybody has to pass, pastor. And as they pass, hi, ain't any news? Oh, you're laughing, that's how I get my ear. I said, you're calling me weird, and people were so shocked. They didn't know what to do. Then I went to the office, the church office, and I said, hey, you hear me latest? Big couple pastor. She said, who? I said, we. That's how I got my name. 2 years after that, my cousin said, let me tell you something. Stop it. Because she was, I didn't run. Just pause. So you say you're getting news out there, please. So nobody is able to hurt you with your story. You can pay for that. So we have to be people who are filled with compassion and use our experiences to help somebody else. But can we do that if we hurt? Can we do that if we are bitter? We cannot. So these are 3 of her books. Because remember I said she was the dying expert. So she had death and dying, grief and grieving, and then children and death. And these are things you could just go to Amazon and get them, okay? So Kubler-Ross has a grief cycle. And we're going to go through each of these cycles, and when we go through, I want you to think about yourself. And then when we reach the part of children, you think about children. I want you to think about the enormity of each stage, how you felt and are feeling now, and then when we get to children, think about how they feel. First stage is denial. This is not happening. Anybody ever was there? The thing staring in your face, your husband or wife leave, the baby is not here, you're in courtroom for the divorce, but this is not happening. And let's deal with that. Oh no, he did not die. She did not die. There's somewhere, I'm going to sit and I feel for people who lose, people who drowning and murder, where they don't get back their bodies. I feel for them. As much as people make it fun of the billionaires, don't understand how that can be funny, but 5 families will never get closure. So that in the back of their mind will always be a wonder if, you know? So denial is stage 1. This is not happening, I don't care what you say, this is not happening. And then I get angry because it is so unfair. Y'all, I am going to wait until you all finish that because I need to need everybody's attention. Oh, okay, alright. So, you have to go ahead, alright, let's take a 5 minutes. Well, everybody, very hard. Yeah. Okay, so everybody just come to the front and help yourself since Francine now. Yeah, because you give them healing, you can't be healed and not focused. So go ahead and have your snacks and then we'll get back into it.
You have chicken.
While I am teaching you, you can't eat. But I just don't want to track the movement.
Alright, this is chicken, this is tuna. Keep it going over the chicken, is it? Yeah. Cheese.
That's alright. So my dear, I want to thank you so much for having me here. It has been a pleasure. I want people to be able to really know, however, what it is really all about. You're telling me something inside that you'll actually train people
Correct.
to do preschool?
Right, so this is our institute. It's the Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy. I am part founder of the Institute, and basically we are a professional self-development company, meaning that we offer programs in early childhood care and development and special educational needs. So that's for persons, adults who want to get into the field of daycare. So it's primarily for daycare, though we do a crossover to preschool. Our certificates are accepted by the ministry as proof of training for persons who want to establish these organizations, and we are really committed to raising the standard of childcare. So hence we have really developed a comprehensive program. So the cost of it is $34.99, which includes 16-hour practicum where you have an on-the-job training period, and it's very, very comprehensive. So you all can check the Facebook page, that is Trinidad and Tobago Childcare Training Academy, and you'll see all the updates of our upcoming courses. However, in recent times we started doing a lot of free workshops and a lot of philanthropic ventures, and it's an aim to meet sustainable goals in our nation and make us as a community better. So recently we would have partnered with the Fine Line Fight Factory. They turn out the most world champion kickboxers within Trinidad and Tobago, and we gave an anti-bullying program where kids between the ages of 10 and 13 learn skills, self-confidence building blocks, discipline, emotional intelligence, and of course self-defense through kickboxing, and how to stand up to bullies and how not to become a bully. And today's program was on grief and loss, and we really target the mental health awareness arena, so that the ordinary layman can feel comfortable and learn strategies and therapies and not feel like they are struggling on their own. So what we really need to do is build sustainable partnerships with individuals and the business community to support us, so that we'll be able to have more facilitators on board. We'll be able to have it at different venues, reach more people through advertising, because these are free workshops, and you saw for yourself firsthand, people were crying up there, you know. They didn't realize that they had this grief inside them. They don't know what to do with it, how to process it. So I want to thank you so much for coming and being part of this venture. It was a small turnout of only 50 persons, but nevertheless 50 persons less who now are equipped with tools to face that loss. And loss is not only when somebody dies. So you can lose, like you said, you can lose so much in your living life, you know. Indeed. Opportunities, your relatives, your relationships. So it was an honor having you.
And I have to say thank you also. I have learned a lot from this. Keep up the good work.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Take care.
Yes. Love. So people, is this an event? So people, is this an event that I will come to again? Yes. Big up to the Trinidad and Tobago Children Academy. Forgive me if I get the name wrong, but are supporting these people. And big up to Freeport Hindu School. So people are just leaving the Freeport Hindu School and are looking to see if I could head down to Williamsville. Quick. Rain is threatening, but I have a serious commitment. Sun or rain, we go in. Yeah, man.